What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the old Tezzadore build. Today we're going to talk about slapping one of these bad boys on your ecotec. So let's dive into it. Just before we dive into it, for anyone that's actually been following along the build might want to see, I've actually tidied up my interior, so there's no more wires just dangling everywhere, no more ECU on the floor. Can't say I vacuumed it, but you know, I put some effort into cleaning up the interior. Let's dive under the bonnet. I've just taken two standard ecotec manifolds and flipped them around backwards. One of them I've cut the end off to go around the power steering, and here's the pipe I've welded to it. Did that to the other side also. Didn't cut the end off the other one, it had no power steering pump to go around, so I've simply just welded to it. Another V-band and a crossover pipe. Crossover pipe was nice and easy, put a flex joint in it. Always make sure you got a flex joint in your exhaust somewhere. You'll get it cracking apart once you get a bit of heat cycle through it. So I made an up pipe to sit my turbo on. It's a bit fugly and the welds aren't pretty at all, but it's in the position I want. Only thing I'm concerned about is how close this pipe is. But I will make a 90 out of alloy and go down instead of a hose, and I'll put a heat shield there, so it won't be so bad. To refilm this bit, that's why my exhaust is black. Audio quality in the first bit was absolutely horrible with the neighbour mowing his lawns. But it is what it is. As you can see, I've just come up out of the heater pipe there. I'll also add a support tab between the flange and the manifold. While I'm in here, if you haven't noticed, there is no gate attached to this turbo manifold currently, or the back of this turbo. So boost by foot feathering it will be. We'll see how that goes. Sure it'll go alright. Made up a dump pipe, just goes out down the back. Not that you can see the best because of the lighting. There's a few pieces of bend with a V-band on it. It's currently just tacked to the rest of the exhaust. I'm sorry I didn't film any of that. I just get a bit excited and sometimes you just want to get stuff done. It was actually really raining that day and you couldn't hear anything in the film, so I made that up pipe and sat the turbo on, but I forgot to record the making of the oil feed in return, so I'll show you those now. They're pretty simple. Don't know if you can hear that. The goddamn neighbours make it hard to film. Whatever that is. So my oil feed just comes from my oil pressure switch location. I should have a T-piece on there, but I couldn't find one to order, so I just have an adapter. I'll have the thread size for that in the description. You just run whatever size feed line you want to run. Mine's a 3AN, and it just goes down under the bottom and up to the turbo, obviously. My drain is just tapped into the sump like it should be, with a bit of JB weld on the threads to make sure it doesn't come out or leak. And just feeds to the bottom of the turbo again. Tapping into your sump's not that scary. Just make sure you drain the oil first and give it a good wash out. Put the oil back in. You're generally good to go. But hey, it's time to slap this turbo back on and see if we can make some boost. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm sure you'll find out in a second. This glorious contraption I've come up with to get boost to the motor. It is a lot of duct tape around the end of the turbo and a lot of the not right size pipes, plus some factory piping.
Talk recording day. blow the intercooler pipe.
So as you can see, version 3 intercooler piping keeps letting go. You can see why. It's not the best. It's got some factory piping in it. I'm actually surprised that didn't let go, but there's a reason this is version 3. I'll put in a clip of version 1 and 2 if I've got a picture of them. I'm pretty sure I do. Everyone's seen the banana? You can see why the intercooler keeps popping. It's hard to feather the throttle to keep the boost down, but that's pretty much how I'm driving it at the moment, just feathering the throttle to keep the boost down. So that's basically how to boost a Commodore engine on a low budget. You just slap a turbo on. It is a bit of programming and whatnot with the computer, but you can run a little bit of boost on a factory computer. But yeah, so once we get some intercooler piping, we'll add that to the front of this bad boy, and it should be a go. That'll be in the next part, I hope, if me parts show up on time, but we'll see how we go with that. Like the fact that there is no gate at all on the back of this turbo is, yeah, it's good, it is what it is. But that's how far we've gotten so far. So I thought I'd end this video where I started it, guys, sitting in me now running, now turboed project car, so not too bad I don't reckon. Hopefully in the next video we'll get either a wastegate or an intercooler piping or something, we can start making some real boost. Until then, don't forget to subscribe and like. Liking really helps. Share it around. Till next time.